back to your mama.
Here we go! Hi-ya! Hi-ya!
Let's dance! Mwah!
Let's do it! Watcha! Acha! Ha! Two! Three!
What are you doing? I know. Here we go! Let's do it! Ape Escape 3!
What's up guys, it's me, Retrovin, and we're at another review. This time we're going to be reviewing my personal favorite Ape Escape 3. And in this review, of course, I'm going to explain why it's the best one. Because, it'll be nice. Of course, first things first, we're going to head on to the story, and yeah, let's get to it. The story in this one is also pretty simple, but with a twist. This time there's another villain, not just Spectre, and they're both working together to, make evil movies to make people follow the monkeys and all that. It's, again, not a major story to write home about, but I appreciate it because it has more of a bit of taste to it than the other ones. It's more interesting. And there's also even a twist later where the bad guy actually knew one of the good guy's friends. And that was an interesting twist, and he even joined the good side at the end, which is pretty nice. But yeah, it was a good story overall. It wasn't perfect. It had its, issues. It's kind of, samey, but compared to the other two, I'd say it has one of the best stories and best explanations for the monkeys. They also have the same sort of system where, you defeat Spectre, and then you gotta get all the monkeys 100%, and then you get the ending. So, it's again like the first two, and I'm cool with that. I'm happy that it at least kept a consistent theme. And because it's only the third game, it's not enough to where it gets boring either. With the main story stuff out of the way, we can now get on to the gameplay. So the gameplay is similar to the first and second one. It's a lot more advanced, though, and smoother. Kind of like how I said 2 was more smooth than 1. But they also have a quick select, which I always wanted in 2. And I'm so happy to see they finally added it into this game after so long. That, and it's a little bit of a minor complaint, but they have slightly less gadgets than they have in the other ones. Although that is overshadowed by the fact that they have whole new power-ups just to add to it. Because now you have different morph powers that you unlock in each world, and they're pretty gimmicky, but they work for what they do. And the gadgets that are here are still pretty good. They even have all the customization that, was in the second one that I mentioned with the RC car and all that, so that's cool too. I also brought back the tutorial sections from the first and second one, which, it gets the job done. They basically tell you how to do it. I'd say it's a little better here because they give you the option of 2 sections. They have one section where they're telling you everything and then you try it, and then they have a second section where you're just trying it, so you can get a better feel for it. The graphics issue with the second game is completely gone. Now I could solidly say that the graphics look really good here. It's partly because it's a later PS2 game as well, but credit where credit is due. The graphics are also colorful still, just like the second and first one. Ape Escape seems to be really good at that kind of thing. And all the environments are varied. This time it's more movie themed, so each level is based on a different kind of film, which is cool, because it gives you the option for a lot of different parodies. And for the monkeys, this is a good segue. We're going to be talking about the different monkey varieties that are in the game. Now, the monkey varieties are really good in this, because a lot of them are, based on different, film characters and film things and all that. So it gets you more variety than the first and second one, which were just, your average monkeys with different personality traits. Even with that said, it's got so much to it, it's crazy. You also have vehicles that are back, so there's, a race car and stuff, there's a tank. And I feel like they control a little bit better than the second one. There's still, the floating robot that kind of controls, but it's a lot better than 2. And to continue on with the monkeys I mentioned, you can even go to do different things, stuff in the main plaza, Because in the plaza, you can unlock tons of concept art, a ton of things with the points you get. And there's no cap like in 2, so you could just get as many as you want and then pay for stuff when you want. There's even like little mini things you could do with the monkeys and all that, and each of them have like a date set to them. It's cool. A lot of it's like optional and not part of the game, but it's a cute little nifty thing that they added to the game. Which I like. I like that they got like all these extra things, like the different cosmetic things they added to the stuff. I almost forgot to mention the difference between Kai and Yumi, the two characters you play as, but it's so small that it was almost hard to mention. So Yumi's almost like an easy mode, because there are some monkeys that are, like, they're gaga over her, because she's like a pop star in the game. So there'll be some monkeys that, will just stand there and you can get them. For Kai, they'll still get you, so it's kind of the developer's way of having like a secret easy and hard mode that you really don't know about. But it's there, and I've noticed that, which is interesting, but not much of a change. Each of the gadgets also have a slight difference too, like based on if you're Kai or Yumi. Like the propellers will have like a little heart shape on it, or the main scepter will be pink instead of blue. Slight differences, not enough to really change the game too much. Ape Escape has heavily stepped up their game with minigames. So, again, I don't really like the first 2 a ton. One of them's okay, but the other's like, eh. The third one, though, is really good. They have a Metal Gear Solid minigame in this, and it is such a fun minigame. It's a little bit bullshitty, but it's almost like a little mini 1-hour game that would be the length of like a early PS1 game. So it's almost got like a little mini full game in it that plays just like Metal Gear. It even has Snake in there, which was a funny little thing. And aside from the monkeys, the enemy variety has heavily been improved too. Now you have different kinds of enemies rather than just pigs and all that. You got, the flame enemies, you got all that, and you still have the pigs, but they have like a better look to them. They're more like robotic looking, unlike the weird, I don't know what you call it, like organic looking ones that they had. It's really good. I love all of that kind of stuff. The tutorials aren't as annoying either. And if you notice the blue stuff, I forgot to mention, the blue, I guess, greenish, bluish stuff is what you use for your main power-up. So you do have to collect those, and you do have to charge it up, but honestly, it's pretty easy to get them throughout the game. They're just as plentiful as the main collectibles. But the main move you do use for the morph, it doesn't really last too long. Still a cool thing, though. There's also a time attack for after you beat the levels. They're basically like any other time attack. You go through it and you get as many monkeys in the best possible time. There's a shitty mode, though, called Survival, and if you put it on your save file, shout out to someone who had that happen, where if you put it on a save file that is really important that you beat the game with, you're fucked, because it basically restarts your game. It's almost like a New Game Plus, where I guess if you die, you just die forever. I don't really know. I haven't tried it, and I haven't really risked trying that mode either. So for me, I'd say as a whole, the boss fights in 3 are better than 2, but the characters' personalities are not as good. That doesn't, like, ruin the bosses, of course. They're still good, but they don't have the same charm as, like, 2. Like, the blue monkey doesn't say, "Go home to your mama," which is too bad. But the bosses themselves play really well, and they also utilize the different morph power-ups you get, so there's more of a use to it than just the main levels. You actually have to use them to take out the boss, which is really cool. And I like that. You don't have to use it in every circumstance, but there are a few, like Yellow Monkey, where you have to, like, do a wall run just to get him. The music in this game is phenomenal, and I'd argue it's better than 1 and 2 combined. It's a little bit of a mix of the two, but I don't mind it. I know I said I hated 2's music in that review, but mixed with 1's music, a little bit of orchestral stuff with electronic stuff, it really works well, and it's just good for the game. I'm going to show off a few just to show you how good it really is, because honestly, it is such a solid soundtrack, and yeah, I'll give you 3 to listen to. I'd say Ape Escape 3 is probably my favorite Ape Escape in the entire series, and I hope I explained my reasons pretty well. It's a really good game. I love all the stuff it added to it. It's got, like, very small things I didn't like. For the most part, it improved on everything else, and yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed my review, and that'll be it. See you guys in the next video.